Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Jennifer.
You're looking dapper today in the Armor Brewing shirt that you always wear.
Thank you. It's
fresh and clean.
I have the black one on instead of the white one, so at least I'm creating
Mixing
some
it up.
variety.
Yeah. I'm in sweats today.
You're casual.
I started my period today, so I just
Cool talk. Let's get into that. Let's talk about periods.
I wanted to. I was like, hard stop on pants. Not doing it. I want to be comfortable. I want to bleed out in peace.
I didn't even notice. I didn't notice.
That was nice of you to say.
Thanks.
Good thing. That was good. That was good of you. I want to try something. We haven't done this before, but I actually think it will be fun. And I wanted to throw this on you. And now you know going ahead of time, so kind of think about it. What was the highlight of your week this week?
This week or last week?
I guess the last 7 days.
Not next week.
Not next week.
This week.
This week. They just happened.
You're asking me this? Is this
Yes.
an on-the-spot question for me?
Yes. Highlight, like most fun or best or I don't know, whatever highlight means to you.
Well, this week was busy.
So busy.
Super busy.
So
between
busy.
School starting and soccer tournaments and softball practices.
It was a lot.
Early mornings for football. It was
Yes.
super busy. So
A lot of firsts
I'm
this
gonna
week.
look. I love the tournaments. I love seeing Berkeley play, but I'm gonna go and I'm gonna pivot because that's the easy button to say. You're watching my kid play, right?
Yeah, it is fun.
Fantasy football's back. Fantasy football.
You're
is
horrible.
back.
You're saying fantasy football?
Yes. I mean, no. Yes and no. The real answer.
Talk about your golf lessons, which is
Sure.
okay, but fantasy football
Yes,
trumps
it's
all
back.
the kids' activities.
Yes, it's huge. It was with this one's with I did the first
No
draft
one's gonna judge you for
with
that.
your parents.
Yeah.
Not your parents, your dad and your brothers, and so that's this
So you're
this
trying to-
isn't my main league that I get in. So it's a little warm up. It's kind of getting back into it, spending time with the family.
So you're trying to use my family to make this seem better that you chose
Football
fantasy football
is
as your highlight.
back. Look, this is a big deal. It's everyone knows it's very serious business when a bunch of grown men who are no longer athletes start to draft other athletes and think that they're good at things, and then they realize they're not good at things, and they spend 10 hours on a Sunday wasting their life to only realize that they probably have better things to do. It's so good. It's such worth it.
It's like competitive. I get that it's fun. I'm surprised you didn't put golf. Like
That was great too.
you don't golf. You're not a golfer, and
I
you
am a
like
golfer.
start.
I am a golfer.
Okay,
You should see my swing.
You've had one lesson.
Listen, I golfed a ton when I was younger, like a ton.
Okay.
I was. So this one's picking up quick. So
I've seen you golf maybe twice our whole marriage, Mike. We've been married 14 years.
But
I wouldn't
before-
say that's a golfer.
No.
That's like me saying I'm a bowler.
Correct.
I bowl once a year.
No, but I golfed. I literally would golf 100 times every year
Great, that's
during
so-
high school and then even college. Like I golfed a lot when I
Count
was younger.
the decades of when that
That's
was,
true.
Michael.
That's
You're
correct.
not a golfer anymore.
I will say this. I'm going to pivot for a second. Doing something you used to be really good at and then restarting it again is very humbling because in my mind I should be good at it.
Yeah.
And I remember I had a good swing and was very consistent back in the day, but man, it is totally different. Your body changes.
That's not your highlight, though? I thought you were, like, really excited. Okay, so backtrack.
Hold on. My highlight was golf. Is that better?
You better say golf is your highlight.
Is that a better way? Is that
I shouldn't bully your highlight. You're right. That was ridiculous.
the best part of my week was my first.
Me trying to control the best part of your week. What are you talking about?
No, it was fun. It's fun to get back into it. And I'm doing a couple lessons to just try to get my swing back into routine. And it's fun to think okay, I'm going to pick back a hobby up again. At least I picked a really inexpensive hobby. So that's a good thing.
It's not like the most expensive hobby. I think it's more expensive than tennis.
Oh, I mean, yeah, if you're including green fees and stuff like that. But right now I'm just going to the cheap driving range to just kind of improve my swing. I'm not over investing.
Okay, so backtrack.
Yeah.
We've talked about how hard it is for us to get gifts for each other. And
Sure.
so Mike's birthday is like the last holiday before Christmas. And so we are tapped out. And this year I was like,
That's
literally.
not true.
Our
Our anniversary is right after my birthday.
That's right.
Which is
I stand corrected.
difficult because it's literally your birthday, 5 days later my birthday, and
Then
then
our
a week and a half later our anniversary.
Like,
so it's
we've already bought
boom, boom, boom,
gifts.
and we're like, what do we do
Yeah.
at this point?
So we've talked about this before, but Mike's birthday gift this year, I literally was just very honest. I was like, I do not know what to give you. I need you to tell me what you want and I'll find it. So I'll go into the world and I'll gather it. And I noticed he went golfing with friends in Cabo, and he was
Yes.
like, I love that so much. I'm like, why don't you go buy yourself new clubs? That's because that's expensive. And so he was like,
I was
Well,
like,
no,
yes.
you didn't really. You were kind of like, I'm like, no, that's it. That's your gift.
Well-
Go buy clubs because I'm tapped out in the ideas. And now you are.
No, I was
And now
super
you
excited
say-
about it. It's not
were?
like
Okay.
it's not like one of these things where I'm like, hey, you get a free pass to go buy a new set of clubs.
Yeah.
Which to my, I guess, defense
Yeah.
of getting clubs, my clubs are literally 28 years old.
Yeah.
I got them after
Girl.
I graduated college. So it's like it's the technology changed everything. It'd be like playing with a 28-year-old racket. You'd be like, all right, go upgrade.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same
that
time,
would make me so much worse.
but at the
than I
same
already am.
time, it's one of those I'm like, ugh, well, now I'm really committing to play golf. Like, what if I spend this money and I don't really get into it?
Yeah,
Then
you
it
better
seems
stick
like a
to
big
it.
weight.
That's
I know.
expensive.
So that's the thing is
You
now
are sticking to it.
Thank you. I will.
Good.
If that's a mandatory
You will-
thing.
you will golf.
What about you? What was your
Highlight?
Yeah.
The kid living through my children, living through the kids going back to school. I don't think you understand. It was like a extremely close second to Christmas for me as a kid. Like
Going to school.
Yeah, like the start of the new year. I don't know if it's just girls or if men think this way too, or boys, but I literally thought every year I was coming back a new invented person, and like no one had seen this girl before, and I was the new it girl.
Well, when you
I
have-
did that to myself in my
you-
head. I
when
was
you
like,
have a new
oh my
trapper
gosh,
keeper,
my
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
My clothes are sick in a good way. I went to the Value City in Ohio and got American Eagle jeans with the big Sharpie line through it, but they were American Eagle, and I was pumped about that.
Was it in the inner label though?
Yes.
Okay.
Inner label.
Yes.
And I was just so pumped to wear all these new clothes. I look back on my fashion choices, and my mom was great for letting me express. I would never right now.
But you
As
were-
a mom, I'm like, you're not wearing that. My mom let me express myself, and I imagine that I'm like Viv. Viv is very opinionated about her outfits,
Yes,
and we
she is.
do this, like getting ready, butt heads in the morning. And I think I was that because I look at my outfits and I'm like, I put stuff together that like wasn't supposed to be together and somehow made it an outfit and ended up getting best dressed.
As
at
to
the
the
end of high
best
school.
compliment you ever had in your life
Yeah.
was that you make ugly clothes look cute.
Someone told me that in high school. Amanda. I won't give her last name. That would be rude. But she was like, you somehow make really ugly clothes look cute. And I remember being like, thanks. And then walking away and being like, like it hit me. Like, I don't know if that was a
that
compliment.
Compliment?
Or if she was just mad because I got that. I was voted that. Which, do they even do that in high school anymore? They do?
They do that?
That's kind of wild in today's society that they still would do that. Like most attractive.
Yeah, I don't think that's
I don't
one.
think there could, no way. I was second for best hair, I was up for best
I got
hair.
best eyes. And
I believe
best.
that. You got
think-
two things?
Yeah, no, here's a weird one. They didn't have best smile, but I got best dimples. And I was like, I don't have dimples. Swear to God. That's
hilarious.
I really did. I was
You
like,
won best dimples, a feature you don't
I told
even
them I didn't
have?
have them and they gave it to somebody else. I was like, I don't have dimples.
You're so, I could see you being like so mad. Like,
I wasn't
don't
mad.
have dimples.
I just was like, that's kind of like weird. Like if they have a picture and I'm
I
like,
have a dimple.
No, you
Is
have
it on
great
this
dimple.
side?
Yeah, you and Vaughn and
Is
your
it this
dad.
side?
Yep.
Or is it this side?
Yeah, no, you're
I
right.
only have
first time.
one full one.
Yeah. Yes.
This side?
Wonderful.
But it's not on this side.
No, you have two. You have actually kind of two.
No, it kind of indents. My dad has like ones that look like you like poke
Yeah,
in.
well, Vaughn has similar
both.
ones. Yeah. So
Pops.
yeah. Anyway, that's what I got.
That's hilarious. Okay, best eyes is a great one though, and I can see that because your eyes are like a really icy blue color. They're a very pretty color.
Well, you have the best hair.
I didn't win best hair. Amanda, the girl that gave me that compliment, actually won best
I
hair.
don't think that's a fair. I think that voting was rigged then. At
No.
that point, who has better hair than you in this
girl
world?
came in and she would spend hours doing like braids and like designs and stuff. Like she told
that-
us,
that
like
makes
I
sense.
get up at 5 a.m. to do my hair. Like she cared. So
Well,
She deserved that.
I mean, the amount of time you spend on your hair now is proof about
I didn't do my hair today. Thought about wearing a hat.
the number of times you get your hair done. It's crazy, and the amount of money you invest into it.
Wild.
Which fun fact is once a year. Just
A year I get a haircut.
Full disclosure.
Hold on, did I say my highlight? Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Okay,
living,
so there's two.
It's beginning of the school year.
It's the beginning of the school year, so I get really excited. Like, okay, do you want to put like your name in little letters on the shoelaces of your shoe? And Burke's like, I think I'm okay, Mom. I'm like, I don't know, let me try it. Like, she's like, I'm okay, Mom. So I did it on Vivi's.
Yeah.
And I go above and beyond, which is probably dumb. I'm like, we need shoe gems. I got like diamonds that go on there. That's for Disney and starting school is where my spending habits don't look like anything else in the rest of the year. I'm cheap and frugal.
And we had a lot of shoes that came this year.
Starting school and Disney, when I'm in Disney World, I definitely like spend a little more. However, our kids they're all shooting up. They can't wear anything
they're
from the year before.
Vaughn spiked up a lot.
Berkeley.
Same with they both did, yeah.
Viv can still get away with some of the like littler things.
You mentioned the labeling, putting the letters on the shoelaces and stuff. Vaughn's lettering is a little bit different reasons to just make sure that they like middle schoolers notoriously accidentally steal each other's things all the time. I don't think it's intentional, but he's already had somebody grab his workout gear, and it's like every single gear. I was very intentional making sure we label everything.
Why, honey? Let me label. You can't read your handwriting.
It says Todrick.
Is it legible?
Yes, because nobody else.
Honey,
writes
you could
like
just
me.
put Vaughn. No one else in the whole school is named Vaughn.
Well, what if Berkeley reuses that shirt?
Berkeley's going to use Vaughn's nasty athletic shirt.
I don't
really?
know.
No.
I guess that's a military thing, because back in the day, everything I would just label Todrick. Always. It was always like literally everything. And that started at West Point we would have it in the bottom of our sweatshirts. We would write giant letters like your name. It wasn't supposed to be there, but what would happen is you'd put it in the hallway, and then some people would just grab it, and you would always have somebody stealing your stuff, and you're like, I don't have a jacket. I don't have a sweatshirt. It wasn't stealing.
No,
I think
my
it was
personality, that would take me off.
Right, so you just labeled
it together.
So you write your name everywhere.
Okay, so that was my first one, because like I don't just go hard with like getting outfits prepared and whatnot. I like bought that letter board, and I was like, I'm going to do an inspirational message every morning. And so far I've done it, but like the inspiration is getting really low quality. Like Monday is the new fun day.
You also did get called out from Berkeley. You missed yesterday.
I missed Sunday. I was like,
did happen.
Berkeley, it still said
called you out.
Soccer Saturday on Sunday. I'm like, Berkeley, we have been going 0 to 100 all weekend, up, down, at soccer tournaments.
That's true.
Give me a break. She didn't shun me, but she was like, Mom, you forgot.
You forgot.
And I was like, see? So I do this to myself. I start these fun things that seem great and loving, but then now the expectations are too darn high.
Yeah.
As a mother.
Who set that on?
Me.
Herself. Yes.
Meself. I know. Meself did that. And I don't know why I did that, but I actually like have so much fun. And then like writing the note in the lunchbox every day. Truth be told, I have thought about sitting down and finishing all 100 notes right now. Just writing them so where I can just rip them off and put them in.
Then that's not in the moment. That doesn't seem authentic.
Because I like to specialize them. Like if they had a rough day the day before, like a goal that was scored or something, I can put that in there. But I was thinking maybe I just leave a little spot at the bottom and then add that, like, P.S. Great goal.
Yeah.
You know, I think I might do that. It takes up time.
You mentioned back to school now, right?
They're back to school. So
everyone's back to school. What a week, right?
First full week back to school. This year is like, I don't know if you feel the same way, but I feel like this, in a way, is like our first week ever, as far as like, we had to get our butts in gear. Like, no more tardies, get up early. Everything has to be done ahead of time the night before, because we now have 3 kids in 3 different schools, and there's no time.
Yes, that's
true.
true.
Would you agree? It's like more serious right now.
I'll say maybe because of that, I feel like we have more routine in it.
Structure.
Like it's more structure, and because we have to leave earlier. And the one thing is our district, at least the kids are spaced out, that it's not like all the exact same time. Well, now Vaughn's going earlier. Yeah. But it's still instead of me doing the drop off now, sometimes you're going to have to, we double up, and it's just what we do. You know?
So I guess let's dive into that for a minute, because I feel like I actually get asked a lot, shockingly, on Instagram, like what the mornings look like. I get asked, like, vlogs are super popular in Instagram form right now, and I literally just haven't done it. Like
vlogging on Instagram?
Vlogging, but what you do is you have to set up the camera, doing all things, and like it takes time. Like I have to remember to like,
I'm sure our kids would not like that either, would they?
No, I wouldn't show them, because
you would like, you show yourself, like,
I'd kind of show me.
Oh.
Like, but it's so busy and chaotic. I don't have time to vlog.
Well, sometimes you don't even brush your teeth, so.
That would be in the vlog.
I'm joking. You do brush your teeth.
No, you're right. Sometimes I don't. I showed up to tennis after drinking coffee and eating something, and I was like, nobody come near me. I forgot to brush my teeth. But they have too. We all say that sometimes, or like forgot deodorant or whatever. My point is it's like, in my head, that time is nothing about work, because I don't have like the capacity to do that. And so I haven't done it yet. I would love to. I don't know why. I think they're interesting to like watch what people do.
Like sped up.
They're only a minute and a half. So like I don't like YouTube vlogs because I don't have time to sit and watch an hour of what someone's doing in their day. However, I think it's like what you're relevant in. Like when I was first pregnant and had a baby, I loved watching what people did with their infants. Whenever I was homeschooling, I loved watching someone's full homeschool routine. It was like so interesting. And now it's like, I'm sure there's people out there who love watching those because they're curious, or like upcoming older kids. How would I do that? It's just, I'm telling you, when I wake up at 6:10, nothing about me thinks work until they're out the door and I'm back home. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit down, get a coffee, look at some DMs. Like that's when I start. I just don't have the capacity.
I mean, if you're going to have an hour of your day to do something, you might as well listen to You, Me, and Mike on iTunes.
I agree with that.
On your podcast. And
So anyways, my point with that,
it's so dumb, sorry.
My point with that is how we do it is not super traditional, I would say. So we wake up at 6:10. I am Mike's alarm clock.
Not
Mike
always.
would not, I knew it was coming. Mike would not
My
get
alarm
up
goes
if I didn't
off.
say, honey, you need to get up.
My alarm goes off.
You set an alarm?
I do.
I don't know what that sounds like.
It's because they're going off within 1 minute of each other. And then you do like...
So yours is later than mine.
Mine's
goes
1
first.
minute after.
We'll do better. Go quicker.
So...
That's what she said.
Hey-oh. Okay.
I had to. I'm sorry. Now my ratings
Did she
changed.
say that? Okay. Anyway, yeah, you have a tendency like, okay, get up. And you do hit me and then I get up now.
I have never struck you.
You smack me. You elbow me and then I cry.
I say, honey, you got to get up. Or what I will do is, because I'm like facing the other way, I'll take my little bent knee and I'll take my flat foot and I'll bump his booty. I'll be like, get up.
You're not hitting me. That's the wrong.
No, I think I'm funny in the mornings. Like, I'm just like, get up.
That's what Vaughn said
You
the
just
other
don't
day.
like it because you don't want to get up.
Well, I mean, it's
You are
earlier.
horrible
I'm not
at
a morning
getting up
person.
quick. You're not a morning
I'm not.
person.
I'll do
will
it
give
if I
him that.
have to, and I do. It's like knowing the way the schedule is. It's a lot easier this year because we had like to me in my mind, I had more time last year, but now we have three schools. We got to be here earlier, so it's not that hard. It just I still don't like mornings. I've never been a wired a morning person ever. Even when I was in the military, I never was. It's just not
your
my
thing.
Intrinsic like let's go or like Vivian right now.
You're doing better though. Like you're getting up quicker than you ever have.
Yeah, it's because I just like get up and
Like, get up. It's painful. I'm even like a morning person, and getting up is not fun. You know, you just have to. I know the minute I levitate out of the bed and stand up, in a few minutes I feel better. I just levitate out of the bed. I levitate. So we get up at 6:10. Mike gets up and he starts getting like ready for his day because it only takes him about 15 minutes because he's a man, and he throws on hat, shirt. He's got his shoes and everything.
grab my supplements.
I lay there for a few more minutes because I literally just put on my glasses, put on my robe on the end of the bed, go pee, and then Mike goes down to start making breakfast. And I go wake up all the kids. Mm-hmm. So I'll go in, and we've already had outfits picked out the night before. We have to keep it going. The girls are usually up by an alarm. Vivi is crazy.
Yeah.
So her alarm is at 6:15 and it goes off one time, and the child literally like
boink. Yeah, she's
like,
up
right out of bed, puts her clothes on. It's like she loves it. Like she loves it. This is what I have to do. This is my job, and she's downstairs.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Trying to sneak cereal.
I think it's because
she wants to eat cereal.
It's a
in the
little
morning.
control thing for her. She feels like she's empowered by it.
Yeah.
And last year, without the alarm, though, she's harder to wake up. Remember, it was like getting her up, but like for some reason,
with her for a minute. Yeah. I know. So she's up and at him trying to sneak cereal. So we had to make a rule: we don't eat cereal every morning. Really, any mornings.
That's why she sneaks it.
And so we had to tell her, like, even if you beat us downstairs, you may not get cereal unless you ask. Anyway, so she's up. Berkeley keeps snoozing her alarm. I've had to talk to her. I'm like, Berkey, you got to get up when it's your alarm, because what if my alarm fails or something? Like, anyway, so she's like you. She's a little more lethargic, but still happy. Like, she's not moody. She's a happy girl. So I wake up. I usually am waking her up second because, like, second to her alarm. She doesn't get up. And then Vaughn wants no alarm. He is in what I think true man form, wants to be woken up with words of encouragement, and ego building.
We talked about that literally.
Sweet Vaughn, wake up, honey, happy Monday. And he's like, I hate when you talk like that. And I'm like, what do you want me to do? Get up. Like, I'm trying to be gentle. I like open the shade. He's usually like 6:15. Everyone gets dressed, goes downstairs by that time,
downstairs,
then you're normally assembling something. It's kind of different every morning. And then I go in full hair mode.
Yeah. Our breakfast, I know this is super riveting, but yeah, it just rotates between
the same, but
protein
like
waffles
things.
And
what's the protein? Eggs, sausage links, bacon, those Kodiak protein waffles.
I have been trying to do a lot more eggs recently because I do think eggs are very healthy, but I still eat them anyway. But we do that, fry up, 6 eggs, and
fried eggs are risky. Fried eggs are so risky because if heaven to Betsy, he breaks an egg.
There's only one that does. Berkeley does not care. She's like, I'll eat that one.
Berkeley will eat anything. Yeah. Viv, I don't like eggs, no matter what form it's in. She's ticked. And then, God forbid, you bust Vaughn's yolk.
Well, he doesn't like the yolk, so he doesn't want it touching, and it's a whole
So we have
thing.
to talk him off a leg.
He's fine.
There's a lot of therapy in the morning. For real.
But we try to be, I do think from a standpoint of balancing, we don't do cereal all the time. We'll probably let them do cereal once a week as a treat. And it's relatively healthy-ish.
But it's always paired with protein.
Yeah.
So like our cereal
it's a heck of a lot easier just to do cereal, I can tell you that. I'd be like, from a standpoint, I empathize with parents who are rushing and kids in there, and you're like,
it's hard.
I get it, because there's times like, oh my gosh, if you're running late, God forbid, you're like going and you just sometimes got to survive. And we've even got to like, this year, Vaughn one day, he did a protein bar one
I was
one
about to say, not to like shame, but it does take 2 seconds to think. There are fast options now, like cereal, to where like even the protein yogurts that we get, the Two Goods or the Oikos, like the smoothies, they'll take those and they're getting 10 to 25 grams of protein. That's even, the only bad thing about cereal is you're getting literally no protein and a sugar crash come 1 hour. Yep. And there's just not much there.
Yeah.
That's why we're against that, because their lunches are a little bit later now. So like we need them to be able to think.
And we're not
properly.
full on like, call it like rigid, all whole foods and all, scratch foods. Like we're not to that point yet. I think you and I both aligned to like, all right, let's try to minimize processed food. Let's try to minimize seed oils. Let's try to minimize trans fat. Obviously trans fat. But there's things, there's a whole, like a sense of reality that has to set in as well. And say it's like
I think the goal is always to 95% of the time eat the way that we luckily know how to eat and we have the knowledge and what feels right. That way the 5% that we don't have time, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay if they shove cereal down their throat and we didn't, because we were running late, didn't have time to give them protein. It's not ideal, but like that's kind of the goal, is like
it takes more time. Everything takes more time.
For sure. The
whole foods, the eggs, everything, the bacon or whatever that you're doing, if you're eating whole foods, everything, because you got to prep it. It takes time. It does take time. But that's why we try to divide and conquer. It's not, that's part of it.
Well, I think it's worth it because classes are just getting harder. They're both doing all advanced subjects. I feel like you have to try to set them up for the best success these days. Like it's hard. School is hard. But anyway, so while he's doing the foods, I'm doing hair, filling up water bottles. Water bottles is whoever gets it, but filling up water bottles. And I also make sure their snacks are in their backpacks for the day. And then, shockingly, that takes up the whole breakfast prep time. Maybe because the hair takes a long time, but they have their shoes and socks on while we're making breakfast. So, it's a pretty well-oiled machine now.
Gladly defer hair to you, because if
I should teach you how. What if something happens to me? You're going to look like ragamuffins every day.
They look cute. I just do high ponies. They look cute. High ponies look cute.
They literally don't want your hands anywhere near their hair.
Vivi likes it because then I usually let their hair also go down. Fine. You want to put a little bandana in? Fine, do it.
Vivi leaves for school like this.
She's like, I love it.
Okay, friends, quick mid-show break to talk about the sponsor of this podcast today, TanCeuticals. If you follow me over on Instagram, then you have heard me talk about TanCeuticals tanning mousse for years. I love it. It is my favorite self-tanner to use all year round. It doesn't leave you orange, and if you are not good at applying self-tanner, it is super forgiving because there's absolutely no streaking. I love TanCeuticals because it's very natural, there's no smell, and it obviously just goes on the skin so easily. The mousses go on super smooth and hydrate your skin while giving you the most gorgeous glow. Honestly, it is a self-tanner that I use year-round. The best part is they've made it so easy for you to grab exactly what I use. Just head to tanceuticals.com /products/the-Jenn-kit to check out the Jenn Kit. And because you're listening today, you can use my code 20redhead for 20% off your order. Again, that's code 20redhead for 20% off at tanseuticals.com /products/the-Jenn-kit. That's TANCEUTICALS.com/the-Jenn with 2 N's -kit.
That's part of what we have. We have that, obviously that privilege of having 2 people. And I think we both have the mindset of doing our best for the kids in the moment we have. And we prep lunches the day before. And generally speaking, it's like, it's probably you do the girls and I do Vaughn or vice versa. And we try to make sure all the chores are done before we, do our chill time. That's been a pretty consistent routine of the day before. So we're not rushing because last year we got
me saying we still need to make lunches. And I will say you're like, fine, but you do it. You're like, all right.
Let's go.
Because at the end of the day, we don't want to.
No, because in the morning.
I don't want to at night. But it's horrible in the morning.
Well, the morning, we were very guilty last year of sometimes waiting till the last minute. It's like, oh gosh, and then you're scrambling, and next thing you know, you're just trying to get
we'll have those mornings again. Yeah. This is the first week.
And
we're killing it week 1.
We are. This is week 1. We have
week
totally
30?
Figured
Unrecognizable.
this out. We figured this out. We are the experts when it comes to school routine. Really.
I will say, so it is great because you work from home. And so we do have the ability to do this 50-50, which I don't think is super common from just hearing friends or other people who do it. However, hot take, even if you did work a corporate job, if you didn't have to be there till 9,
you can still help.
I would still expect you to help.
You can absolutely help, especially at 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
It's really not really an excuse.
I would still expect you to get up and help.
It's not really an excuse. Obviously if there's people that are single that are doing it, I mean, there's
so hard.
I ate school lunch 90% of the time. I think I would occasionally get a packed lunch. You were opposite when you were growing up, right?
Correct.
So, and everyone has their different opinions of school lunch. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of them because of just the amount of process stuff that goes into it. And it's I think that's the nature of all school systems, but that's my personal, actually I'm not saying it's opinion. I truly believe that it's not really good for kids. Okay.
Did you see though on the app where it shows what they're eating?
Yeah.
They put the nutrition labels now.
That's nice.
It's nice, but I'm shocked. What did I look up? And it was 40 grams of sugar, the muffin and yogurt protein box or whatever.
40 grams.
You would think it would be not the muffin, but I was thinking kind of a decent option.
Yep.
I'm glad they post it, but I'm why would you look at this and be like, this is good?
Yeah.
I can't, that's a whole nother topic. And I've always wanted to fight school nutrition, help improve it. My mom's been doing it for decades and she's like, you'll go and fight it and nothing changes.
You give the kid an option to have something healthy or something sugary and taste good. And if you're giving them the option, what are they going to choose?
Right. Totally.
There's very few kids out there. They're going to be like, you know what? I'm going to eat healthy today. Right. I'm going to have a salad. And sometimes even in grade school, they have these sandwich or salad options. But then you're trying to get your kid to choose that. And some kids are wired that way, but
Vivi and Vaughn love to buy. They'll ask every day. And we're like, remember 1 day a week. And we limit that. So we'll look ahead of time and give them the options. You can buy Tuesday, Wednesday, or Friday, based off what they're serving.
Yep.
And Berkeley never wants to buy. Yeah. So she always gets a packed lunch. Vaughn and Viv, as long as behavior in the morning goes smoothly, then they earn to buy 1 day a week, which is so nice when they buy because then we don't have to.
And again,
it is nice.
Look, it's from a standpoint of if there's people out there that it's what they have to choose because that's whether it's the financial means or the time or their school systems have good lunch.
Buying is expensive now.
It can be. There's
Ours is almost $4, right?
Yeah, but that's actually pretty cheap if you think about it for a lunch, a full lunch, if you can get them to have balance. That's the thing is advocating for healthy options out there because it'd be great if that was an option. When I was younger, especially when I was in grade school in the 80s, there were actually some relatively healthy options. I remember it being real food. My grandmother was a lunch lady. And when she first started, they were literally making food from scratch. Yeah. They would have whole ingredients. They were making, they'd have real potatoes and they were mashing them and it was all real.
They probably started in the morning, cooking.
It was, it was like a commercial kitchen. They were legitimately making the food. And then throughout the 80s, politics, administration, supplementation of food. It's all has to do with just probably lobbyists, to be honest with you, if you really want to get in. It's not necessarily a political thing, but that's really where if you want to get down to it, has to do with money. Has to do with money. And sometimes supplementing, like if you want to make a lot of cheap food, the way to do that is processed food. It really is.
Yeah.
You can make a lot of calories, a lot cheaper to be able to get it to a lot of people. And there is a lot of benefit that, like, food insecurity, there's some people in the United States that do have that is a legitimate thing, but it's way less than the majority of the countries out there because we have an abundance of very low cost food at the expense of being not good for people.
Right.
At the expense of having issues where you're just jamming too many calories in or the wrong calories, right? That's where the kids, like middle of the day, do you want your kid, where I got frustrated, remember it's 2 years ago?
Eggo waffles?
No, it's not even the waffles. It was the...
No offense, Eggo.
It was the extras they have. Remember the extras that they added? Yeah. And school systems are allowed to do that as long as it meets certain guidelines of what you can put into it. Oh, like how
they literally call every day and say, anyone for extras, meaning like if you go buy
you get a treat, you get ice cream treats and things like that.
Why do they do that? For money. I think it
does. It is additional fundraiser. School systems are allowed to do that because it's over and above.
Can you see my butt?
But one of the ones where they had the water, remember it was sparkling water? And it was 39 grams of sugar in the sparkling water. And I was like, I remember showed the principal
because Vaughn would be like, it's sparkling water.
Yeah, we do let our kids drink sparkling water home all the time.
Yeah, we let it go on for like a semester.
Like bubblies and things like that, yeah.
And then one of us went to eat lunch with them.
It's me.
You. Many kids throwing back these sparkling waters. Mike reads the nutrition.
39 grams of sugar. I'm not kidding you. It was more than a Coke.
Yeah.
I remember taking the can and I went to the principal. I'm like, are we okay with this? And I was like,
we're outing ourselves. We're those parents.
But I wasn't saying, it was like, I'm not trying to.
We do it nicely, I promise.
I didn't know. And I was like, is this okay? And it was like, and I want to say 50% of the kids were drinking
elementary school too. Yeah. Like they're young.
Yes.
I don't know how we got here, but anyway, food advocacy. I mean, yes, in theory, it's cheap. However, I didn't buy my lunch, and I'm sure if I'm remembering correctly, I need to ask my mom. It's expensive. It was expensive, and my mom was savvy and good about. She always knew that she could buy more for less and make.
If you make it in bulk and you prep at a time, and it does take time, there is a balance that has to be done.
It just takes time.
There's no way around it. It's what is it? Good, cheap, or fast, and it's like you can't have them all.
Well, here's my biggest beef with buying lunch. Forget nutrition. Forget all that. Literally, my number one that trumps all is if you go and have lunch with them, do you see by the time they get done in the lunch line, 10 minutes tops, you have to eat your lunch. I'm sorry, but my 6-year-old at the time, 5, she's gabbing with her friends. Yeah. She's not putting down anything she doesn't eat. Yeah. And she needs more time to stay. She needs that full 20. They only get 25 minutes.
Yeah. And this isn't any indictment on the school systems and the way that this is just the way it's set up.
It just is.
It's the fact. It's the number. It's the amount of time that's allocated for the school. It's the state funding that's allocated for the food system. These are just where it is. So it's like, as a parent, you have to make the choice, and the choice that you have to do is I'm sure every single parent out there is doing what they feel is in the best interest of their child, and that's their opportunity and their role as a parent to be able to do that. But it's like stepping back and looking at the certain things is like, okay, especially with like one of our kids who has food sensitivities to food dye, right?
Yes.
And that's a big deal when we realize.
You don't hear that. Yeah. Any allergies? Yes, food dyes. You don't hear that, but it's 100% a thing. And I think a lot of people don't know it's a thing. Like,
it affects his attitude like crazy. And that's the point. They were like, fortunately, the age
outed him. We only have one he.
I mean, it is what it is. I don't think it's not necessarily a thing. It's just, I think everyone has those things, and it's not like an allergy, but it definitely impacts his mood. And it's like the red dye really makes a huge impact. So we're like, okay, nix that. Anyway, with that being said, I think I think it is important. It's part of the role of us as parents to be able to align what's important. And if it's important, it's going to take some time, and it's going to have to take some sacrifice out of your life, and then teaching them what's right. And trying to set them, and at the same time, not like I said, we don't want to have, or at least, I mean, you and I both are kind of aligned to this. Food is a sense of control for children.
Yeah.
And the more they go after or fight for food, it's usually a control thing because it's something they can't control in their life, right? And if you set up a bad relationship with that's the only sense they have control, then people set and will have long-term issues with food because that's the one thing they can do.
But that's too deep. Like we ask our kids what they want for lunch. Yeah. They get to pick their snack.
Yeah, give them options within guidelines.
They have
that's
control
but that's what I'm
food.
saying is if you were to say this is what you get and that's what else, and then you create this weird dynamic with it.
You don't want
then
that.
You don't want that as well because then there is no optionality. Anyway. But that's one thing is creating the choice and options, and you've always been really good about this. Okay, hey, here's which ones you want. Here's
mom's menu. Yep. I literally give like 3 choices the night before, and they got to pick one.
And everyone we're fine with.
Right. Well, of course.
Thing, right?
Yeah, of course. Well, okay, so then they go to school, which is great. We work, and then as far as pickup, I feel like and correct me if you don't agree, but I feel like we've gotten really good at just kind of winging it day to day. And it's like we always respect, basically we look at like whatever we're working on. Right. And if it's not life or death to the moment or something's not due for someone else, then we say, I can get them.
Right.
I can get the kids. I can get the kids. And then sometimes we're like, no, I really can get the kids. And we both kind of tango there. I think we've never said this, but I think it's like an unspoken thing. I feel like if we have a call or some kind of meeting, that trumps. You know what I mean? Because you can't be there. Correct. I have to take this call or you have to take that. Yep. You have to go to that meeting. And then we automatically know the other person has to shift something around and make it work.
Yeah, it's like we generally communicate, hey, I got a call at this time or I got a meeting this day at this time. And
so we're very structured except pickup. We never know who's picking up.
When you were filming, it was 100% me.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it was because but they were all at the same school at that time. So nice. They got in 2 schools. But anyway, so it was a lot easier during then to do that while we were doing it. And then a lot of people, if their kids are on the bus, that's an option as well. I took the bus all the time as a kid. It was just what it was. So but that's one thing I like. Personally, I actually like doing it. And so one thing is where I've told other dads and other people, like I genuinely enjoy doing drop off in the morning or picking up with the kids because you get a moment of outside the cast and you're in the car, you're listening to music, you're having a conversation. I even, one thing is I get a routine is I actually pray with them before they go to school. It's something that I'm trying to set up of like a routine of like before a day we start it this way, and it gives me a chance to have just some individual time. And I really genuinely like that. And, now, today I was, you took the girls and I took Vaughn today to school. So it was like, it gives us moments. And those are the times where it's just, I don't know. I like it. It's something I enjoy doing. Yeah. Cause I have, again, fortunately we have the flexibility to do it, but yeah, pickup is kind of been like, it's sort of a toss up.
Yeah. Well, I like it. And I think, I don't know how I want to put this. I think that came about because there was always like, I was always like, if you're home, you're 50% to a parent with me. So you don't have to be at work, get up, And I think, I'm not saying it's my doing, but I think sometimes, how do I say this nicely? I think sometimes it takes the women to kind of up the expectations a little bit, and you ultimately win because now you're so used to it, you love it, and you're getting this time. Whereas think about if you would have, which you didn't, but you've never fought me on helping me. But like think if you worked corporate, and so you would sleep in past certain things when they were little because you were working a corporate job. I would breastfeed at night and do all the night stuff because you needed to sleep and function in surgery the next day. It was a big deal. But the minute I was a stay-at-home mom, I know not everyone's like this or doesn't agree with me, but I've never been any different or seen it any different. Like the minute you walk in from work, I've had 2 under 2 and I've been working really hard too. Like we're both in this together at night. Like you're going to help me. Yeah. You don't I know other people are like, kick up your feet and relax. Maybe I suck, but I was never like that. I was like, I am exhausted. Just help. I wasn't saying me go sit and do me time or go to the spa or get my nails done. I'm saying like, we're both in this together. Can you hold this kid while I'm making dinner? And I think you're just used to that. And so it's created this where I'm glad you like it because it's not like me being like, I think I'm not doing this alone and you like want to do it. Yeah,
I think if there's any,
it's like a testament to you, even though some men have flexible schedules, they don't.
Sure.
They don't help.
But a lot of it is, I'm going to say this, this isn't defending people like being like, hey, you do 20% here I'm going to do 20% of the kids. You're going to do 80 because I do 80% of the work. And that ratio doesn't really work out to some people, but I will say
everyone has different.
Well, I'm going to say a lot of it, generally speaking, how you look at relationships with your spouse and with your kids is how your family structure was, or how you have these expectations you've set in before. Like maybe your mom was the one that did all the laundry, did all the clothes.
My dad worked a lot. Like he would do, my mom stayed home and my dad would like be sleeping in a closet because he worked overtime. Yeah, like, and I always knew and like respected that. My dad was at everything I had, but definitely don't remember too much of him like at the beginning of school unless he was coming home, and then he would sit at the table while we ate breakfast and talk.
Yeah, so he didn't get that opportunity because of his career. And there are those are circumstances. But I'm saying even standpoint of even like more from an expectation standpoint. Like there's verbal expectations, like discussed expectations, and nonverbal expectations. And the nonverbal expectations happen in relationships when you think something, but you never verbalize it. You just assume that's the way it is, right? I'm assuming that the women's gonna do the laundry. I'm assuming the women's gonna take care of the mom.
Okay. Did you expect that? Because you grew up with like a stepdad that
it wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't super involved.
Okay, I don't know how much you wanted me to go into that.
That's true.
Wasn't active.
No, he wasn't.
And your dad lived out of state.
That's true. Yeah.
Like you really did not grow up with an in-house dad, how to be a dad in the house.
Not really.
You didn't.
That's true.
I'm not trying to say anything that's hurtful to anyone.
No, it's not.
It's fact.
That's the fact. It's the reality of my childhood.
What did you I try to be real, even before you were married before. So go before your first marriage. How did you expect, I don't know, have you ever thought about that? What did you expect like a dynamic would be like in a marriage? Do you remember?
I don't
know if I remember.
Not really.
I'm
thinking like, this is the way it's going to be. No, I will say that I do think I probably had more of a selfish mentality of what a marriage would be, like thinking like the more traditional aspects. Well, I'm going to work and they're going to do that. Like that's probably the mentality I have, because how my mom is like the massive caregiver, and that's also how she shows love. It's like constantly, I want to do everything. I want to cook for you. I want to do this. I want to, like, we go home and she's doing our laundry. Am I wrong? Like literally when we go visit her, she empties our laundry out, like, and then is already doing the laundry. We're like, Mom, you don't have to, like, but that's just how she shows love, right? And that's how it's been instilled.
We're shoving food down our throats.
Also giving.
Also, Mike, do you want hot chocolate? No, Mom, I don't. 6 minutes later, Mike, here's your hot chocolate. Mom, I said I didn't want hot chocolate. Those are all. That's real.
Hey, please don't give the kids dessert. They're eating dessert in bed.
They're eating pie, like
in bed, literally in bed.
We're making fun of it, but we've had to have like some real conversations.
No, but it's
of,
how
like,
she shows love. It's not.
We said no.
Yeah, but that's not.
And she's gotten so good now.
But with that being, that's true.
She's gotten really good.
She does ask, and she does her best.
She asked before. Yes.
So, but I will say this is that when it comes to that verbal and nonverbal expectations of the role of each individual, that is part of something that couples do need to discuss. All couples need to discuss that. Like, how do you see this? Especially, and we say, like, I've done multiple. I'm pretty much a professional pastor at this point. How many weddings have I done?
Professional pastor is a stretch.
Hey, how many weddings have I performed now?
You've done like 5.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway,
I just think professional pastor might be
I'm not a pastor.
A hot take.
Let's put this on. I am not a pastor. I am not. I do not. I do. Anyway, with that being said, I think as you think about relationships, the more you can verbalize it about what your expectations, especially earlier on, the better it is, because then you're not going to have unmet things. And that's with you. The one thing you've been able to do, or things just part of your personality. Yeah. I always know where you stand.
Right.
I always know what your expectations are because you'll tell me. Right. Very quickly.
I'm not afraid to tell you.
You are not afraid to tell me. And that's kind of with all things. And some people can be intimidated by that, but I'm not. I love it. I'm glad. I'm like, well, all right, I got to rethink it. And maybe in that moment, you're like, but I worked all day. I'm super busy. I'm tired. But at the same time, I'm like, she's also been working. And remember, we had some conversations early on especially when Vivian was born. No, sorry, Berkeley was born.
Oh my gosh, 202 was
that was the hardest one. It was hard for me too. And I'm like, because you were so involved with Vaughn, and then you were like, listen, I know you're working, I know you're doing grad school, but I am exhausted, and this is all the things you're doing. So if you think you're doing, just because you unloaded that dishwasher doesn't make you a hero, because all this other stuff.
I'm pretty sure I've said verbatim. I said
I help at the house. I did the dishes, and the truth is how
do you remember that?
Because
I would have never remembered
because if you didn't explain it, and
you're not a hero because you unloaded a dishwasher. Yeah. I'm like, I legitimately think I said that.
But the reality is, if I didn't have you verbalize that, I couldn't think through my mindset of what fair was, right? Because we all look at things from our own perspective and saying, this is how I view my life. This is how hard I'm working.
Right.
We look at,
it's a selfish, like,
we always are looking in the mirror. Look at a picture. What's the first thing you look at? Yourself, because that's human nature.
Right.
So our life, unfortunately, we are just selfish creatures to begin with. So it's like in that relationship, it's that especially as a man, to me, it's like, it's a lot of things that you're just driven, not intentionally, but just through the nature and the course of your life. Like it is about being self. It's about being accomplishment driven. It's about doing this job. It's about doing this and then providing for your family. And I provide. But in its own ways, like it's also, anyway, Sorry, I'm getting,
interject finger.
Yes. That's
no, but what I want to say is thank you for the communication thing. But I think it takes two, because just hearing like other people, friends talk, whatever, a lot of times the men cannot pivot. Like it just doesn't, they don't know. Like it's just a hard no type thing, which would be really hard for me. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I would work well with like a personality like that, because they would hate my guts for presenting it the way I present it. And I would be like, you're selfish. But so I think it takes also, you are really good. Maybe in the moment you're making a face of like, I hate this, but you always like stew on it and come back. And I wanted to say, it's not like you talk about it one time and it gets set forever. The thing is, you guys can, new married or people who don't have kids, can sit here and plan for what they want to do all day long. And then you have the kid and you're like, actually, I feel nothing like I felt. Like we're pivoting and you change it. But even when you have kids, the different phases of middle school or whatnot, I feel like we have to have point checks every year to be like, are we still good with what we got going? Our schedule? Are you still, I've been really happy with you doing the dishes without being asked every single night. That helps me so much after dinner. Like, I feel like you still have to touch point to be like, we good. I don't like this. It's like always like just evolving.
I've described, marriage as a dance, right? And you have to be in sync with the person, but generally somebody's kind of in lead in the moment, right? And it's not always the man or the woman, but there's a certain point where you're like flowing together, but you have to be in sync with each other, and that creates there it is. There's my ding again. Watch. I'm going to take this watch off later. But that sync of with each other, of knowing who's in lead at that moment, where it's like our life.
Do you ever feel in lead?
Well, yeah, we had the corporate.
Good.
No, yeah, for sure. If you think about it, so when I thought you were going to be like, no. When I had my corporate job, it was sort of leading towards me.
Oh, totally.
When you started filming, it led towards you. And right now, it's sort of like this in-between balance, because we have armor, we have the projects you're working on. So there's sort of like
high five to us, because that would be hard to like.
Yeah, high five.
Once you're in the lead, like then not feel a certain way.
But it was a very direct conversation we had. It was like, hey, this season, because remember when you went to filming, we were talking like things. Yeah. That was that whole cool thing. We already mentioned some of these things in the past, but like, the homeschooling that we were doing. And then I was, when COVID hit, I was like, oh my gosh, something's got to give. And that was the whole thing is, but
and
when
what gave is your hair, because it started falling out of your head.
It really did. But with that being said, it's like, if we look at it that way and we take, and it's sometimes it's hard, especially when you feel that you have this real hard, like rigid mindset.
Yeah.
And I will say, you asked me one thing, I'm going to go back to one thing you asked me.
Okay.
What did I want in a relationship? And I do remember this. And I actually believe it's one thing where like, I did expect my spouse to be my best friend. I did want that. So I want to, like, if I'm going to treat you with anything, if you're my best friend, how am I going to treat my friends? Yeah. How would I want to treat my best? How I want my best friend to treat me with respect, right?
Yeah.
And it's a mutual respect.
That's true.
Sometimes it's like, hey, I may not agree with you, but I got to listen, right? I got to at least like come to point. And we have things we disagree on. This is the stuff, but like, there's still things that we have differences, opinions on, but it's coming to about respect with each other to say, okay, I hear it. I may not agree with it, but let's figure out how we're going to work through this.
Right.
Sorry, I just want to come back to that.
That's a great point.
But thank you for saying that about me. I mean, again, I would say with any man listening, or any person out there that's rigid, not man or woman.
Yeah, women can
it doesn't
be
matter.
Selfish, and
the more you want, like, there's things that I've done. I was like, okay, let's, especially the routine things, is like, I didn't really want to do that. Let's do this. The more you do it, the more you do it, it just becomes routine. It's like, why wouldn't I do this? This is normal. It just becomes part of your day. It's not like that difficult.
Let's go to, why does this say spicy or bomb question? Spicy question.
You like my write-ups? Yeah. Spicy or bomb.
Mike, do you think it's truly possible to have a 50-50 marriage?
Ooh, depends. Depends on how you do the math.
I mean, 50-50 seems pretty straightforward on half.
I think from the net of a time, yes. I do think a relationship over time on a macro scale could be 50-50.
No.
But in the moment, I think there's going to be generally someone that's going to have moments of like give and take. That's compromise. Like, and we just talked about this, the dance. So if you're saying somebody's in the lead, does that mean that person's 51% or 52%? I think there's compromise.
I'm going to interject. I think 50-50, a good way to like, I think when people hear 50-50, they think husband does 50%. It depends on what you're talking about. Are we talking about working? Are we talking about childcare? Are we talking? So I think 50-50 marriage is both two people feel like they are split down, whatever the workload is, they are getting 50% help from their partner.
That's a good way to put it.
You know what I'm saying? And that way you don't assign, because if we were to do 50% on kid pickups or take to school, well, you would probably have a higher percentage because my work calls seem to happen later in the afternoon and I'm on and I'm like texting you like, oh my gosh, I cannot grab them. So you'll go. Or 50% of household chores. Come on, you ain't doing 50% of the household chores. So I wouldn't be supported in that. But do I feel like we have a 50-50 marriage just as a whole, everything combined? Yes. Do you know what I'm saying?
But that's a mindset as well.
I don't think so. Well, I think that you actually have to put forth the work for me to feel supported 100%. To have that. Well, so it's not just a mindset of me being like, I'm happy.
Especially with one of your love languages is works.
Acts of service.
Acts of service. Action to you means like value.
Literally helping me do something.
Buying you a gift, you don't care that much about. But there's times where people supplement that things. Again, we can talk a whole things about. I think actually we talked about this last podcast again. I do think it's worth revisiting the whole love languages, because I think it's really important for relationships, like super important to understand the other person's because even though
it's like a cheeky labeled thing, important. I still think however you want, if you don't want to say love languages because you think it's so cliche and like dumb, it's just recognizing the traits that have the most value to your partner.
Well, yeah.
Like call it what you want.
Because the thing is, you can put a ton of effort into the wrong thing that your your significant other doesn't care about that much, just intrinsically. You're like, I spent a month trying to find this gift and researching it and doing everything, really and truthfully took a lot of effort to do.
But in my head, you haven't helped me with the dishes for 2 weeks and I'm ticked. And that gift means nothing. Yeah,
what's funny
totally,
but the thing is that's where that disconnect and that understanding the person so that other person can understand, which by the way, 50-50 should be this, in that aspect, that person should be doing the same thing to understand you as well.
Right,
correct. That doesn't mean a one-way thing where you're the only person doing the work for it and you're going to sacrifice everything. So you're sacrificing to meet that person there, and that's not 50-50.
No.
But 50-50 in the moment, you're going to have to compromise? Yes, but the other person occasionally is a compromise for you as well.
Correct.
So to your point is that perspective is, I think, the biggest thing about creating what could be seen as 50-50.
Yeah.
I like that because it isn't about you definitely do more around the house for sure. From like daily pickup. Do I have
you do taxes.
And
I don't.
You generally cook all the dinners.
Yeah.
I'll generally do the dishes and clean up the kitchen, and that's about the one chore I consistently do.
You assemble breakfast, and I hate assembling breakfast.
So we kind of have our things, but from a net standpoint, you're. Well,
I'm constantly.
You're a celebrity designer, so why would I let you not work around the house?
Okay. All right.
And this was good. This was actually, thank you.
I don't know how we got so serious the first week of school. Genuinely don't know how, but I didn't.
Oh, by the way, sports we didn't talk about because we got that. We got multiple practices and navigating, that's a whole other thing. And by the way, parents who do club sports and travel with their kids, more power to you. Bless your heart, because that is
It's a lot. Okay, so wait, this all came because my highlight of the week.
Yes.
My second highlight of the week, because I have two, was getting that skeleton from Costco.
Jeez.
What a win! Oh yeah, I could not find those dumb skeletons, and then had a whole Costco open up right in my town, Allen.
It was meant to be. The stars aligned. God smiled upon you and said,
how lucky
here's this giant plastic skeleton to junk up our yard with.
I want to make it a big tennis racket.
Solid. Listen, I will say this, if you haven't seen Jenn's reel, you'll get there, and I'm sure by the time this even airs, that guy's going to be out
in the yard,
scaring the neighborhood. All right, but thank you for that. That's a great one. Okay.
He hates it.
Oh, geez, you're going to hate both of these. All right.
Can't wait.
Jar of
weird questions.
You sure it's weird questions?
Woo!
Wasn't it random?
No, it's weird.
Jar of random.
You keep jacking. Now we have to redo it. Ready? Jar of weird questions.
Bum, bum, bum.
Hit me.
Would you rather visit outer space or or the deepest part of the ocean?
Shoot me.
I know. That's what I
Just
said.
in my life, I don't want to go to either places. I
You
want
have to
be
pick
with
one.
Jesus Christ in heaven.
You got to pick
I guess
one.
I'm choosing outer space. If you had to bottle me up and put me in one of them,
You would hate both of
I
them.
guess outer space.
You think so?
Yeah, because suffocation from no oxygen would be very quicker than the painful water going up into my brain.
I think you pretty much are both painful.
I don't think lack of oxygen would be as painful as water.
Well, it depends on
going up
how.
into your,
It depends.
You know how it burns like when you get water,
Yeah.
like from a drinking.
And I'm
it
not
raw?
saying this from experience, but I've heard people that drown, you have pain and then it goes instant, like peaceful. I think lack of oxygen is actually a relatively painless way to go.
Yeah. So outer space, that way I don't have the water burning me.
But you do realize
I
when
just
you
imagine it
drown,
would be
that's
like-
lack of oxygen,
like,
right?
just do this.
Yeah. And then, I don't think it's be good either way. Listen, but you're thinking worst case scenario, how cool would it be to go to space?
Never.
I have 2 of my classmates from
couldn't pay
West
me.
Points that are astronauts.
I think if
2 of
someone
them.
offered me $1 million, I would not go to space. I would say, oof.
Jen, one of my classmates went up to space. It was supposed to be, I think, like a 3-month tour.
Yeah.
And this is when the whole war in Ukraine happened. The Russian rocket was supposed to bring him back. He was stuck at the space station for an entire year. Frank Rubio,
No.
shout out to him. One of my classmates.
No.
Great guy, by the way. Super smart.
No.
An entire year. Imagine being.
Is he smart? Think of his career
He
choice.
is. But could you imagine?
I don't know.
Here's the thing: is think about like, hey Jen, I know it's a sacrifice. I'm gonna be gone for 3 months, and then a year,
Nope.
a year later, I show back up home.
You know how pissed I'd be?
I think he has the record.
I'm glad your butt's back on the soil.
But anyway, here's
I've been busting my butt back here.
Here.
You've been playing weighted dominoes in space.
but going to the deepest part of the ocean,
No.
also kind of cool. The problem is the
Animals.
yeah, maybe some
Something could-
creepy things there.
Oh.
Like, here's the thing.
No.
I want to go to space and be out there because I want to know, are there some creatures, are there aliens out there? Are there things
Yeah.
being hidden? But also, are they on the bottom of the ocean? I know there's crazy creatures on the bottom of the ocean, which nobody's ever seen.
I literally hate that question.
think it's
Whoever entered that, don't like.
yeah.
I wish you didn't read that question. I'm pissed.
Jen does not
wouldn't-
like confined spaces either. That's the other thing. So
Absolutely.
that is a perfect question to end this podcast on. So thank you for following along and
Yes.
listening to our randomness that we had today, which is pretty awesome. And this podcast is available on all your
Listening
platforms.
Spotify,
Yeah.
Apple, anywhere
Yeah.
you can get your podcast.
So if you haven't followed, please follow and please rate us 5 stars. And if you don't like this podcast, just
go away.
yeah.
Don't listen.
You don't have to rate us.
You don't have to leave a star, but it's okay. You can just leave.
No, but hopefully you get something out of it. This is fun. I think we're getting more of our groove. We're catching it. We're catching our. What's the right word for it? I'm trying to figure out the analogy.
Swagger?
Swangers. Catching our swanger.
Catching our groove.
Our groove on. We're getting our groove on.
Getting our groove on.
That's what we're doing.
All right. Next week, guys. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Late.
What the heck did you just do?